Let's switch gears, you guys, because we've all been told just let it go. But that often is easier said than done, right? So why does the hurt stay with us? What does it really take to actually move forward and let that hurt go? I'm thinking about things as I'm saying this, which is why it's so hard for me to get out. But today we're talking about the science of actually letting go and how to start healing. Thrive and Shine co-owner Kathryn Thalken is here to share so much more on how we can let that hurt go in our relationships. Hello, Kathryn.
Hello.
Okay, let's have this conversation, shall we? Because people often say, just move on, just let it go.
Yeah.
So what makes letting go so much more complicated than actually just letting it go?
Well, here's the thing. Our brains are incredible things, right? And so what they do is they take in things that we experience and they go, hey, I'm going to look for a pattern, right? And so they see these patterns that happen. And what we know about the brain is that it holds on to things that it recognizes, hey, this is happening over and over and over again. And so it's so easy to say, let it go, but our brains don't want to do that.
Exactly, especially when you're seeing repeated behavior. Because if you're going to keep doing it, then I'm going to keep saying something about it. But how does our brain try to protect us after a painful or maybe an unresolved experience? Because interaction and difficult conversations are hard to have, especially when you're in a relationship. You don't want to hurt that person's
100%.
feelings, but you do want to get your point across.
100%. So here's the thing, is that our brain, again, it is wired to look at these patterns. It is wired to see what is going to happen next, what is going to go on here. Now, it's one of those things also where for some people, right, painful experiences can actually lead to trauma, right? But for other people, they may not. It's really about how your nervous system responds to an event, right? Two people can experience the same thing and respond differently. And so it is one of those where you have to understand yourself and how your brain works.
Yes, indeed. Oh, speaking of knowing yourself, I think a lot of the times many people believe that time heals all wounds, but that doesn't necessarily work for everybody, and especially not in the same time as well. And so what would you say? Would you say, do you agree with that?
I do. Well, here's the thing, is that time does not heal all wounds. Time creates distance, right? And so it's one of those where for some people, they might be still holding on to something years later and everybody's like, why can't you just let it go? So instead of saying, you know, it's been a long time, why don't we ask ourselves, do I feel like this is resolved?
Right? Okay.
So it's a big difference between having time and distance and actually having resolution.
Sweeping it under the rug is not a solution no matter how many years go by, right? So when someone can't seem to move past a painful experience, because I think that's the space that we're starting to get into, what are they really holding on to, and what do you think maybe they're yearning for? Why do they keep bringing it up?
It could be a number of things, right? Again, everybody's so different, but it could be that they want their pain acknowledged. It could be that they want closure for something. It could be that they have questions. It could be a multitude of things, but really you have to ask yourself kind of what is going on, what is underneath this.
It sounds like overall, like we're wanting closure. Like you said, we want to be heard, we want to be seen, we want our questions answered, right? And I think that just takes a listening ear and a truthful tone, honestly. And so this doesn't just happen though in romantic relationships. This happens in all sorts of relationships, friendships as well. And so what else do you see people struggling with that is hard to let go as far as the past?
I mean, anything, right? It can happen in any type of relationship, coworkers even, right? Adult children, parent relationships, right? Pretty much anybody that you have some kind of an emotional connection with, and that connection's been either broken or it's been harmed, or you feel like there's been trust lost there.
That's hard. That's hard because trust is so hard to earn back. And do you think that in that space of, especially as the person who's hurt, you're hunting and looking for these answers, constantly bringing it up, do you think it's a healthy way to get it out there, or do you think there's a different direction to take?
Not necessarily, right? We don't want to keep bringing something up and bringing something up and bringing something up. There's a difference between replaying something and processing something. Right. Okay? And so what we know is that when you process something, if you think of it in terms of like a book, right? When you're processing something, it means that we're moving forward. We're looking to the next chapter. We're looking for what's happening next. When you replay something, it's basically you're taking the exact same chapter and reading it over and over and over again, right? And so that's why you have to ask yourself, you know, what do I need in order to try to move on?
Indeed. And you know what? In that space where your partner is like, listen, I've heard this story multiple times. I said sorry. What else do you want me to say? How do we move past it? And that leads me into apologies, because those are important. But what else does it take to repair a relationship beyond just your words?
So an apology is a great start.
Yes.
Okay? It's a wonderful start. However, I can apologize, and then if I continue doing the exact same behavior over and over and over again, I'm not going to be trusted with my apologies, right? So an apology is a great start, but we have to then see change. We have to see movement. We have to see this is not happening the same way over and over again. We also want to feel some empathy, right, for our hurt and our pain. And so that's really, an apology is a starting place, but we've got to see actual change.
It is not the ending place, okay? It doesn't just start and end and then it's over.
No.
I love it. These are really good tips indeed. Remind us where we can find you. And if you have one, a little tip to start healing today if we can.
Yeah, definitely. So a tip to start healing today is to ask yourself, what do I need to try to move forward, right? What do I actually need? Do I need an acknowledgement? Do I need some empathy? Do I need change, right? What do I need to move forward? And you can find me at thriveshineco.com. Or 817-415-0908.
We are looking to the future, you guys, and we're looking to it with a positive mindset, even in our relationships. Kathryn, thanks so much for being here.